Maria's mink fur coat transformed into a throw and a pillow. The customer wanted both a throw and a pillow. Here's the front and the back of her coat, the collar area, the lining, which she chose not to use and was packaged and sent back to the customer. As usual, we deconstruct the fur, taking the lining and removing the lining first. You'll see in all the videos I'm always pulling strings out. Here I'm working on the collar area. And to the sleeve. The fur was really in great condition. The only major repairs I had to make along the way were where the hardware was attached. There were multiple holes throughout the lapel area. Here I'm removing the tiny little cuff from the sleeve. This particular fur really is very straight. The lines are straight and the flare at the bottom end is not that great. It's 54 inches from one end to the other. When I measured it prior, the top from this part to the opposite side is 52 inches, and in the center from here to the opposite side is 50 inches. So I'm going to instead of making my usual strips, because the majority of it is laying straight, I'm going to be adding pieces to the sides to even it out. I'm going to cut straight lines here and on the opposite side, and I'm going to patch that spot right there. The armhole I'm going to patch with another piece of fur, probably from the sleeves. And right here, I'm going to repair the pockets, and along the sides where the hardware was, those spots are also going to be repaired. The fur is actually in very, very good condition. So there's enough fur from the sleeve portion. The two sleeves, as well as the collar area, and a little bit more fur from the cuffs, because the customer not only would like the throw, but she would also like a pillow to go along with the project. So we'll see how this goes. So here I'm doing the repairs where the hardware was attached. I believe there were 5 locations where the hardware needed to be fixed, and then of course the zipper. Here I'm making the cutout for the sleeve, and I'm using a smaller ruler because this hole seemed to be a little bit smaller than the second one. So I'm making my nice straight cuts along As I said prior, I really don't like sewing in a semicircle. Here I use the wider ruler, and I'm going to make an additional straight cut on the piece that I just cut out from the sleeve. Brush it out, get all those loose hairs. Now trying to place it in the correct direction. Adding my cold tape. Sewing the seams. And I'm going to press out the seam, flatten it out, and flatten all the way around after I did all the seams, and work on the second sleeve. This hole is much wider. I'm not quite sure why, but there was a disparity in the size of the hole. The procedure is the same. Make my straight cuts so it's a rectangular area. Hopefully the patch will not show all that much. Brush it out, get all those loose hairs up. Measuring the second part of the sleeve, notice how much wider it really is. And here I'm making just hash marks so I know where to cut. I'm going to cut it down a little bit, and then I'm going to use my ruler to get more of a precise cut. Measuring twice. Make sure that it is correct. You don't want to cut something too short or cut something way too large. And the top part I'm going to be using later on in the pillow. Here is the completed top with the backing. She chose a black backing. This is after it was all sewn together, top and bottom. The final measurement was 48 by 50. And then I moved on to the pillow, which you could see how to do that in another video. As you can see, it is quite pretty. The lines are beautiful. The area that I patched are not noticeable at all. I always have a zippered pocket in the back, so this way the pillow can be removed from the inside, washed and laundered. And I just changed the exposure here because it was hard, because it was such a dark color, to get a really good shot of the actual color of the fur. But it turned out lovely. Come visit us at dinahsquilts.com.